Hey guys, it is me, Darcy. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to what is clearly not a podcast because I sit here without Kris, who is still out of the country on a boat, or more likely, thrown off a boat by other people on the boat. Because let's be real, let's be fair, let's be honest. If you were on a boat with Kris, you definitely would throw him overboard the first chance you got. So would I. It's just human nature. But guys, welcome back, and as it always is when Kris isn't here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through a little bit of channel news, any updates that we have, and then I'm going to fill in a little bit of extra time talking about what I've been up to this week, and a few things that have really caught my attention this week. So I hope you enjoy, and we'll get straight into a little bit of channel news. Okay, so let's get started. We'll start with what came out Monday. Kris is usually on top of this. I say, laughing. Kris is never on top of this. But what came out Monday was Helldivers. Me and Kris go back to the acid raining planet of, I have no idea what it's called. It's just got acid rain and sucks. And we go and fight some evil robots, because evil robots are the worst type of robots. And me and Kris love destroying evil robots. I don't really have a lot there. Really fun episode. Me and Kris are just playing by ourselves, so we don't have any extra help this time, so it is not as quick as it could be. But yeah, we enjoy Helldivers. It's not, the best game in the world, but it is a fun game, and I think every now and then having some mindless fun is perfectly okay, especially in the realm of video games, because that's kind of the whole point of video games, to enjoy your time. And for me and Kris, Helldivers is something that we can really enjoy our time with. Although, that being stated, I think next time we go back to Helldivers, we have to go fight some big old buggos again, because we've been fighting robots for a while now, and it would be nice to take on something that doesn't shoot back at us. What else happened in that episode of Helldivers? Not a great deal. Kris was a disappointment as usual, but it's Kris. What's going to change there? And as for me, I was honestly just messing around, having a good time. Oh, I actually, there is something that happened in that Helldivers that I totally forgot about, but now I've remembered. I finally remembered the weapons that I like to use against the automatrons, because they're awesome. And that was a really big achievement for me, because I haven't fought the automatrons in so goddamn long that I actually forgot what I was supposed to use to fight them. But finding that out again is great, especially considering that now I can go back to fighting the bugs and forget it all over again, as is what I do. Moving right along, on Wednesday, what came out Wednesday? Subnautica. So if you've been following me playing Subnautica, which is a game I absolutely adore, by the way, like, I would be playing so much more of it if I wasn't recording it, but I am recording it, and I don't need a million episodes of Subnautica at this point in time. So just to give you an idea, that's really how much I love it. I absolutely adore that game. But in it, I have built my prawn suit. I did that last episode, so in this episode, I've really actually managed to go exploring in it. And because I'm me, and because, well, I'm me, I have to get its color right. I've got to paint it in my color pattern. I also then have to give it a name, because obviously I have to give it a name. I can't not give it a name. That'd be ridiculous. So I wasn't really sure what to name it. I felt like it had to earn its name. And so I took it out exploring, and it did. It earned a name. And for those of you wondering, I named it after Sergeant Johnson from the Halo series, because he is a legendary, reliable, absolutely laddish person who's always there to back up the chief, and that's how I felt about my prawn suit, an absolute lad who always had my back and can punch even the biggest fish right in their stupid fishy faces. And that's important to me. That ticks all the boxes. And so I named my prawn suit Sergeant Johnson, in honor of a true bro. And I think that's really important. You're giving things a name that you feel they deserve. What else happened in that episode? I went exploring, Um, found a lot of stuff that I just wasn't expecting to find. And really enjoyed myself. Oh, I made friends with a fish, which is ridiculous because, you know, it's a fish. But I was just off exploring, and the fish was in my hand, and every time I wanted to pull something out, I pulled out the fish. And because it kept happening, I just bonded with the fish, and now I can't use it to make a water bottle. So it now lives in my house with me, and may even come out exploring with me again on another date. Because that's just who I am as a person. I get really caught up in things that don't matter. But yeah, that was Subnautica. I'm really enjoying it. As I said, I definitely want to play more. I definitely want to put more of it out there. And I honestly cannot wait until Subnautica 2 comes out and I can finally play multiplayer Subnautica. Me and Kris will get into it, and we will try and punch him in the face with a prawn suit because I think that would be hilarious. But the first thing that has to happen for that to happen is Subnautica 2 has to come out, and fingers crossed, it'll be awesome. Friday, moving right along to Friday. Friday, we have obviously this Not a Podcast coming out. Hello, if you're seeing this and listening to this, obviously you know that it's come out. But we also have the Minecraft that usually comes out in the evening on a Friday or a Saturday if I'm particularly lazy. But hopefully we'll have it out not too long after this has come out. Trying to think of what happens in this one. I know I start off by exploring. That's definitely something that's happening because that's where we literally left off in the last episode. And these were all filmed together about 4 weeks ago. So I probably start off exploring. Kris is, I believe, still making a swamp out the back of his house for some unknown reason. The man is a little bit of an oddity. But yeah, so I start off exploring. After exploring for a little bit, I come back completely lost and with no idea what the hell's going on, and I start building my house. Because for those of you who have been following along with the single Minecrafts where I just play and generally just build my house, you will know that I have absolutely outrageous wants for my house, pretty much. I want my house to be massive, and it's going to be massive. There's no two ways about it. My house is going to be huge. It's gonna have like so much stuff there. I have been playing a little bit of Minecraft off recording just to try and like put some quality of life stuff in place. Stuff that me and Kris have been planning to do for a long time, but it's just super boring. So I was like, you know what, I'll just jump on and do it without recording so that it's there. So that's some of that's been done. Haven't done any building to my house because obviously that's a little bit of a lie. I have done a little bit of adjustment to my house to try and make things a little bit nicer. But yeah, you get to kind of see me do some extra to my house. I was going to say finish off, but it's not finishing off at all. It's like literally putting extra pieces on my house that makes the building process even longer because that's what I do. And I'm pretty sure Kris is literally just working on a swamp in his backyard. I honestly have no idea what else he's doing. The man is a little bit insane. But yeah, other than that, guys, I don't really think much else happens in that episode of Minecraft. So we'll have to watch it to find out, I think. Moving right along, I'll kind of give you guys a little bit of preview into what's coming out next week, just because that's kind of what I've been doing this week. And next week's going to be a big one for me. I have a lot of stuff I've got to get done. Because obviously next weekend both me and Kris are away, so I won't be able to get anything done that weekend. And then we pretty much get back, and it's back into the grind of things. So next Monday we will have a Satisfactory coming out. Stay tuned for that. And I have to figure out what's happening on Wednesday. But then another episode of me building my house will be in Minecraft. So stay tuned for those. Moving right along, so, as we often do at the end of channel news, I'll update you on the subscriber count. Last time I checked, which I believe was this morning, I might be wrong, might have been last night, honestly, it's a blur for me, but we were up to 199 subscribers, so it'll actually be really awesome if we can cross over that in the next couple of days, but, yeah, honestly, you know, it's super awesome where we had a little bit of stagnation, but we're kind of back moving in the right direction. And guys, it's sort of amazing. As I always say to Kris, like, it'd be awesome if we had like a channel that just took off like immediately. That'd be awesome. But you can't be mad with the process really. We keep working hard, we keep putting out new stuff, it gets more views, people are seeing it, people are enjoying it. That's what we love to do, and that's why it's so awesome that you guys are liking it. And to all 199 of you at the moment, thank you so much. I hope that we can keep entertaining you, because that's kind of our goal. So fingers crossed, guys, that we will, you know, we will get to 200 hopefully before December. But we're gonna keep doing what we do, and you know, we'll just keep updating you on how things are going. But I think that ends channel news. So once again, thank you guys so much for where we are right now. It's sort of amazing. Back when we first started, you know, who would have ever thought that like 200 people would even care what two idiots were doing in Australia? But yeah, it's sort of cool. No, it's not sort of cool. It's incredibly cool. So thank you guys so much. Moving right along. Okay, so what have I been up to this week? Obviously, I've been working on the channel. It's kind of what I do all the time. You know, I do editing, I do this, I do that, all the kind of stuff. Kris has been on a boat, probably thrown off it, as I said in the beginning, because he's Kris, and come on. But guys, I've actually, so since the last podcast came out, I have been watching a lot on Path of Exiles 2. Now, a little bit of thing about me, I'm not massive into like ARPGs. I'm not. I play a bit of Diablo 3 and 2. I played the beta for Diablo 4, and then just kind of went, you know, this wasn't really for me. But Path of Exile 2 kind of it has me excited. I've watched a lot of stuff on it. I watched the stream they had about the early access stuff. I'm definitely considering going and playing it in early access. Like, that's something that I'm just kind of like I'm just kind of like thinking about it right now, because you know, it's a perfect time for me to kind of get into it. It's the holiday period. I have a bit of free time on my hands, so yeah, it's not a bad time. But yeah, I'm just kind of sitting there going like, oh, you know, like it looks incredibly good. Let's be real. Let's be fair. Let's be true. It looks amazing, and I really want to play it. I don't know what class I'd play. That's one thing. I'm thinking Mercenary looks really good, but you might as well play all of them, hey? Because they're all going to play so much differently, and kind of having that kind of option seems so cool. And boy, there were a lot of skill trees. A daunting amount of skill trees, but I am so there for a game that is just unapologetically massive. And, you know, the kind of game that grabs you by the collar and just shakes you, and it's like, learn, motherfucker, learn. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna get into the early access of Path of Exiles 2. I'll let you know how that's going when it does start going. But yeah, I'm excited, guys. I'm super excited about it. I am 100% here for that game. But yeah, that's kind of where I've been this week. Something else, you know, I kind of did talk about it a little bit last week. You know, Game Awards are coming up on the 12th of December, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But, you know, don't forget to do your voting, even though apparently, from what I've been hearing and what I've read, our voting really does mean nothing. It's a little bit of a disappointment, considering that we are the players. It's, you know, we're the people who spend the time with these games. We're the ones that know if they're good or not. We should really have that 90% say, yeah, in what is going to be Game of the Year. Not tabloid journalists, I suppose. But I don't know, guys. I think this year's Game Awards is I don't know how to put it. I don't. I'm not very happy with it, to say the least. In terms of, I really, truly do not believe that Shadow of the Erdtree should be up for Game of the Year. I think it should be in a category of its own. Um, I guess this it's sort of like how Phantom Liberty wasn't in Game of the Year last year. I'm pretty sure it came out last year. I'd have to double check, but you know, it was a DLC to a game. You can't play it by itself. If I went out and bought Shadow of the Erdtree right now, I still need to own Elden Ring to play it. So I don't think it counts as Game of the Year because it's not a game. It's an add-on for a game. And I think it should be counted because they've done an amazing job with it. It's just that I don't think it should be classed as Game of the Year. It should be under its own category. If you feel the same or if you feel different, let me know. I'm interested to see how other people feel about this. It's just, for me, I think Game of the Year should go for a full game, a standalone game that you came out this year. I'm also, you know, a little bit on the fence about like remakes and remasters and reimaginings, because I also think that they should have their own category as well. And especially considering that like that's where the gaming industry is going. I think if you're going to have an award show and celebrate games, you should celebrate all of the games. But Game of the Year, the big one, should be a celebration of really the best game of the year. A full game of the year, not something that relies upon something that came before it. But that's just my 2 cents on it, guys. If you feel differently, let me know. If you have similar opinions, you know, let me know. But I think the biggest thing when it comes to these kind of differing opinions, guys, is to really just hear each other out, listen to what everyone's saying, and remember it's okay to disagree about these types of things. But for me personally, this is where I stand. This is my belief on the issue. I don't know. For me personally, the Game Awards, I don't want them to just go down the path of the Oscars and these other big Hollywood things, because like, when was the last time a movie that you actually thought was really good won an Oscar? It's a little bit too much of a well, I guess I'm gonna say a circle jerk for me, where everyone pats each other on the back for patting each other on the back, and it's so stupid. And when I didn't think, for me, the Game Awards was us voting for it, and the actual gamers, the people who spent hours in the games, playing the games, choosing what we thought collectively was the best, and that seemed like a good system. Whereas now it seems like we really don't have a say at all on what we believe, on what should be the best game of the year, and instead it's going to come to people who probably have no interest in the industry and will just use it to push their own agenda. Who knows? But we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed. You know, fingers crossed that we do see some changes to the Game Awards. We do see some more categories popping up that fall more into the current era of gaming. And yeah, and fingers crossed that we as the gamers still get our voices heard. But I guess that kind of wraps me up for today, guys. So once again, if you've enjoyed the video, consider liking, sharing, commenting, or subscribing if you haven't already. It really does mean a lot to us here. We're so close to that 200, and we just want to keep pushing forwards. We want to keep doing what we're doing, and we want to keep entertaining you guys. So fingers crossed we can keep doing that. But guys, if you want to see more from me and Kris, check out the rest of the channel. We have the actual podcast where me and Kris get together and just talk rubbish generally. We have me and Kris playing a whole bunch of video games, me playing a whole bunch of video games, and yeah. If you find something you like on there, let us know that you like it, and we'll keep doing it. But until next time, guys, I've been Darcy. Kris obviously isn't here right now. Hopefully he is floating in the middle of the ocean somewhere. We can only hope. But guys, I will catch you next time right here on the channel. And until then, see you later.